the point which I was taking it up as a fortification and a lot of products which we see here, and fortification is now very common, and we see because the products which are a daily use product like even Ashirwad Atta and Tata Salt is one of the example of the product which is commonly in almost all household we at least would have experienced once this or we would be using it on daily basis. So it's a that how do we address or do we add the key nutrient to the food? It could be any of the food like atta, could be oil, could be milk also. But looking in terms of the fruits and vegetable and how do we find them the suitability of the fruits and vegetable in terms of um, a good system for the fortification. So that kind of probe we'll take it up. And why to take the fortification is one thing which is well known globally. It has been proven. So that's why WHO, FAO, there are different agencies, they put forward the fortification as a concept where they need to fight against malnutrition. They have to fight against certain disorders which are due to the iodine, iron. The population is all deficient in these specific nutrients. And so that's why that addition of iodine in case of the salt, it has been mandatory in the country. So that's the impact of fortification is possible. And particularly in terms of the deficiency, if we account, there are 58.4% of the children, they are anemic, 37.5% of the children which are under 5 age, they are underweight, and there are women which are all more than 50%, they are at reproductive age observed anemic. So that's the significance and importance, and those kind of challenges we wish to take up through the fortification, which is food fortification. Why to take the food fortification as a solution? Number one, because your basic nature of the food is by and large remains unaffected. And the quantity added is just small and well under the RDA, so that overnutrition kind of problems are not really taking place. So that is how the fortification is beneficial and desirable as well. And but how to carry out the fortification? We have seen that fortification has not really not. We see that every day that there are few products which like the salt, but in every product it is not so. And we still have the challenges in terms of the population and the outreach of it. The approaches which are theoretically taken in terms of the food fortification could be biofortification, though it is not the subject which I really I'm trained in. But yes, important in terms of we are taking the fruits of biofortification as on date. So in food processing also we do use those varieties, those cultivars. So that's why biofortification is an important approach to the food fortification. I am sure that some of the speakers would be covering this particular aspect. But looking into the other commercial industrial fortifications, which is food fortification or nutrient fortification, that's the key focus. In few slides, I'll take it up before I start on the value addition part. And domestically, we go with the food fortification or just a small drop of vitamin D added to the milk or kind of thing. So that is how it could be simple as vitamin D drop putting to the milk. It could be complex in terms of availability, bioavailability, that right proportion, no aftertaste, acceptability of the consumer. So those challenges are certainly there, and that way we move for taking the challenge in terms of the processing challenges of nutrition, delivering through the fortification. As far as the terms which fortification or enrichment, sometimes they could be confusing that But specifically the definition part, there are standard definitions available from WHO, FAO. The difference is highlighted in terms of enriching, specifically meaning that adding additional nutrients back to the processed food. So that way we enrich if something is lost. But fortifying means adding greatly needed, like the societal need, like the nutrition which is deprived in particular community, and we are addressing those challenges. Then we call it a more scientific way, that the fortification. And the value addition is simply, the fortification is also a way of value addition though, but specifically the value addition could be taking the processing and any process whereby we are taking it, starting from the raw commodity, and we are changing it to any form whereby that particular product is offering a value for the consumer. It could be economic value, it could be the convenience, it could be nutritional value. We are targeting fortification as the value addition means. So this is what we are going to take it up. And fortification in terms of the fruits and vegetable. When it is not commonly seen, but important that horticulture produce as a whole, if we take, can be considered on or the process. They are suitable for fortifications in many ways. What is the inherent porosity in terms of the horticultural metrics, and we further, if we are able to take out the air from within those metrics, and then the nutrients can be really brought in, and the fortified product could be made available. Sometimes some horticulture produce, they have the ability in terms of they could be put to the diet, they could be adding bulk along with the certain nutrients which are specific to those horticultural commodities. So that is how the fruits, vegetables, they could be important in terms of the fortification or the fortification requirements. And if we see that the consumption of the fruits and vegetable, this is at a time, though the last 40-50 years, the country has progressed and the availability of the fruits per capita has increased. Otherwise, it was a dream to eat an apple, or only the person who is sick would be in families, they were offered at a time the apples or the fruits. But in terms of the recommended dietary intakes for vitamins, for minerals, there is a great role of the fruits and vegetables putting together. When we talk in terms of fortification, this is very important, and this is a caution for taking fortification very lightly. Or this is a study which was conducted. It's an African study whereby a local African fruit, which is baobab and moringa leaf, they added to the maize-based porridge, which is common as a staple diet. So that the idea was to have iron supplementation and the vitamin supplementation, means mineral and vitamins from this plant source, which is moringa, or the fruit which is baobab. But the challenge here was observed in terms of the bioavailability, which was impaired due to the moringa, which decreased the percentage of the total bioaccessible iron and zinc up to 84% and 45% respectively, mainly due to the calcium, which was approximately 3% of total this small 3% on dry basis. It was available there in the composition which is added. And then calcium iron phytate complex that inhibited the bioavailability. So means the fortification, whenever it is planned, it has to be well thought of, it has to be validated in terms of its bioavailability and the purpose which we are targeting in terms of food fortification. Food fortification in a way can go along with the processing which we'll take up in the value addition. But specifically talking in terms of the biofortification, and more particularly then this is thankful to the scientists which worked hard in developing 17 fortified varieties which were launched for 8 different crops in 2020 by Honorable Prime Minister. and whereby he really wanted to focus it that it could be in a mission mode, and it can help our Ayush program, it can help the common people in the country. So the biofortification is also equally important as the processing could be. So the biofortification could be the genetic mode, could be agronomic mode, and but the focus is that to have either mineral side or the vitamin side, they could be added up. Soil supplementing with there could be as simple as the agronomical practices, whereby in the Ghana there is a study which was carried in 2018, published in 2018, and it was claiming that in Ghana they could deal and they can make potassium more available to the people through the crops which they produced in a supplemented soil. So that's the biofortification could be. But specifically, the significance of the biofortification goes with the first figure, which is that the total market means they're the companies, the stakeholders, or the patent holders. They are really finding it a lucrative one. So market is growing at the CAGR at the rate of 16%, slightly more than that. And if we look in terms of the Indian scenario, the pomegranate, cauliflower, sweet potato, there are different cultivars. Traditional genetic approach was used for bringing out these cultivars. Biotechnological approach, if we look for the biofortification, one good experiment, and this is going to be success, and soon we'll see that something could be there in the market or the technological transfer level. Though there is a challenge that in our country we have GMO restrictions in particular, but for the CRISPR-directed editing of the lycopene epsilon that cyclase, they were able to take out the beta-carotene-rich, substantially rich cultivar they could be able to develop, and that way. And banana has been used for biofortification across the globe. There is a Bill Gates and Melinda Gates Foundation that Uganda, they took a project Banana 21, which is widely popular. And this way, biofortification can be a good option for giving nutritious processed food through value addition to the consumers in time to come. And when we are coming to the value addition in terms of realizing high prices, when we target for doubling farmer income, I think without processing, realization of that dream is challenging. And so that's why the processing and the value addition has been considered. And that's the need for value addition also there in the horticulture produce, which we are saying that fruits and vegetable in particular, if by name. Why it is so that value addition could be as simple as if we can reduce the value supply chain losses, the losses which is either post harvest at any stage, if it is there, then that is also a value addition. Moving further, that if we are able to offer the consumer a fruit which is in a better state of acceptance, so better quality, better safety, and the branding could be associated with it. But if the good quality and the safety comes, because even today consuming an apple, people are really doubtful, and they remove that the good nutrition part of the peel out of it, because the safety is doubtful, and that assurance of the quality is missing there. So that kind of value addition is probably the country is needing. And the value addition in terms of the value chain development, we need to focus more on the primary and the secondary processing rather going for the tertiary level processing, so that we can connect the farmers or the growers also in terms of that profitability. Whatever the profit we target or the margin we target, additional margin, the grower can also get due share out of that. So that is how the value addition can be looked in terms of the fruits, vegetable, which is starting from the immediately post harvest. If we can take up small cooling, just removing farm level heat and moving forward in the supply chain. So that way, even we can go for the export and the good quality of the product, whether organic or non-organic. The previous speaker was talking in terms of the organic, but organic also needs a market, and organic, I've seen the growers of the organic, they sometimes really fail to find the market. And in that term, if we can claim something, even the processed options for them, later we can means for the value addition is also in terms of the increasing the shelf life of the fresh produce. So looking into certain quick glimpses of the value addition possible, technology has made possible nowadays. So at the primary processing end, cleaning, cutting, packaging, so whatever the country, we have the support from the National Horticulture Board to have a pack house and value addition at the farmer level, developing some farmer producer organizations. So those models really we want to evolve. That would be a real value addition in terms of the primary processing. So farm level washing machines, and there are different manufacturers which are available. They are providing these de-seeder, shrink packaging, basket centrifuge. So these are the options available in terms of the primary processing, and which we also call minimally processed fruits, vegetable, which are made available. Rather, these are the tools which ICAR and the CIFET, they developed some of the ICAR technologies. The value addition starts right, means if you are able to pick the fruits or vegetable at the right stage in terms of the maturity, so you are getting weight out of it in terms of that the quality which would be available in terms of, say, for example, if it is a fruit, right sugar and acid balance, if it is there, total soluble sugar is there. So we need to determine the maturity, appropriate maturity. So that's also a value addition. That learning and that communication and that kind of extension is still missing in the country, particularly for unorganized kind of farmers, where much of such information are not there. There's small stake that land holding is there, so they are producing it. Even harvesting technique for the value products. So there's the clippers which are developed against the CIFET developed technologies. Banana comb cutters are important because sap of the banana, even in mango, if they split on the fruit aesthetics and its quality, and so those things are affected, and that says something the fruit is missing value. If we are able to prevent that value, that's a value addition. Probably that grading, sorting, the farmer has understood well, and the local gadgets which have been used, which are being in use, they are proving good, and the farmers are earning better value in terms of the size grading. Simply, they are putting it into it. Harvesting without mechanical damage of the fruit is also equally important. The mechanical graders for an organized processing are important, and the farmers are gradually adopting. When I take this as a simple shrink packaging, we ourselves tried in our lab, conducted small study on the some of the citrus fruits. In the present kind of conditions, which is this in the temperature, if it is 25 to 35 range, this shrink wrapping for the citrus, particularly the kinnu kind of fruit, we were able to achieve more than 30 days life in under lab. So it works even for the package, for the tomato, for the other crops also. Minimal processing saying could be an option when we want to go for convenience product out of horticulture produce. It could be in terms of a minimal processing and going little beyond if we opt for a pre-cut. Pre-cut is a challenge. Challenge in terms of its shelf life is a challenge. The safety is a challenge. So, but there are technological solutions available for it. There has been lots of studies in terms of the pre-cut, and whereby the pre-cut vegetable solutions has been made available through different scientific institutions. If we have the pre-cuts, there's also an option that it could be thought of if pre-cut or the slices are there of the fruits. Then osmotic treatment, vacuum impregnations of some of the nutrients can be brought in, and the fortified slices could be made available to the consumer. And when we talk about the vacuum impregnation, the technological tools which can further enhance whether we want to use to omic heating or pulse electric field for increasing the porosity and better absorptions of the solution from the solution on certain nutrients if we want to bring it to the vegetable or the fruit which is cut. The products for this to the processing, what we talk in terms of the IMF fruit is only osmotic treatment with a sugar-based treatment. Some snacks out of fruit could be developed. Here it is shown from the jackfruit pieces which has been osmotically dried and could be offered in the consumer. We will go to the across means just in our Southeast Asian countries. They have the like Thailand, they offer good banana and coconut kind of products, which are of IMF kind of products. This is the pineapple can also be an option to offer these IMF fruits. Through this fortification, which is impregnation, it's a vacuum-based impregnation, we can target the probiotic fortification and value addition. We can target mineral fortification. This is an brief account of different research which has gone at lab level. Though commercially we are at Indian patients not seeing pre-cuts which are fortified, but certainly this kind of product which are IMF products or those value-added products are available and easy. But the possibility and the future markets, the startups, they are really looking for fortifications in terms of putting value of either probiotic or the mineral or the vitamin vehicle. How this impregnation goes, the series will go that initially the solution would be made and there would be a dipping of the slices or the pre-cuts. Then the vacuum applications are there, and then holding impregnation cycle. This is the impregnation time which when we are applying a vacuum, so it's decreasing, keeping it for the vacuum certain time and then releasing the vacuum and then folding it for the normal, so that what vacuum gives takes out the air, increase the porosity within, and then that way we are able to offer a value-added product out of this pre-cut or another technological solutions for pre-cuts are modified atmosphere packaging, whereby many fruit stores, particularly targeting export in this segment, the people have used, they have worked, and the modified atmosphere packaging means reducing the atmosphere within the package. So it is addressing oxygen, it is addressing lowering carbon dioxide, bringing oxygen somewhere close to 5% or below, and thereby the carbon dioxide gradually can be increased if the oxygen is reduced. So they produce the respiration rate challenges is reduced. They are determined means what atmosphere will provide the best benefit, that needs to be worked out. There are different database available. Scientists developed.
Excuse me, Doctor.
Yes, sir. So
Please.
the time constant, I have to be faster. Yeah. So I would be. I think I would be quickly moving fast. So sorry, because I consumed a lot of time in putting my presentation in. So now here I will be fast enough. So recently, what highlight and technological advancement has come in that the packaging side of it. If we look a quick look on it, the one example I would like to cite in terms of the bag which could be put into the bins, and there could be a very selective, which is the breathe way. They have brought up a temperature sensitive polymer, which the pores within it means to keep maintaining the atmosphere within the package. And increasing the pore size with the release of temperature, because there is more CO2 available, and that has to be produced out. That has to be thrown out. So that kind of technologies are available. Disinfection, there are alternatives of the chlorine, where if the fruit is being targeted for exporting, there are options available. Even electrolyzed water is being used. This is a database part of it. This is a technological tools or the technology transfer available through the ICR institutions, which is small producer. They can come up with the minimal processing. The technology is readily available with the different fruit technology or the processing or the agriculture universities for the product like guava bar, papaya bar, and so on. So these are some examples where the value addition, the methods of value addition, they can go into it. We also conducted some of the study at NIFTEM. This is a coating application whereby we took this was a utilization of the pomegranate peel extract, which we brought into the coatings and fighting against the mold, which is able to grow on certain surface of foods. Here we utilized in another study the kernel of the mango, which is the mango stone, and the starch of it was extracted, and with certain essential oils, we were able to get good shelf life extension in terms of the tomato and the guava fruit. We developed some of the films. This work is still, we are going on casting the fruits. The pulp, purees, there's ample opportunities for value addition as well as the fortification in this kind of product. Technologies are readily available with the institution for transfers. There could be other value-added products in terms of the drying, in terms of jam, jelly. It could be. There are now commercially available, the fruits are made available which are enriched with, or they are enriched, rather fortified with some of the minerals or the vitamins. Carbonated juice, despite of the that call from the PM, much not has been done, but the technologies like microfluidization or high shear homogenization, they can probably, because we are working on it, and we found that there's a possibility of retention of carbonation in fruit juice could be possible through that way. The drying solutions that NIFTEM has a technology work which one of my colleagues did, and for using superheated steam for the drying and producing better quality product. This is a simple technology which is a combination of tray dryer and solar drying for the garlic. CFET offering these technologies. So to conclude that what is needed in terms of the value chain, our focus would have been on the supply chain. Now it's a time that we should really take over that value chain formation. Value chain could be thinking innovatively, bringing new products, and thereby making the fruit available, preventing the loss. So that's probably an approach. There are two things which I have shown here. One photo which is this is sugarcane. Sugarcane juice is still not has means much success, but there are now technologies, solutions are available. We should really think in that regard. In one of the attempt, NIFTEM made that a shop vendor kind of, we made this platform. We have transferred this technology for 2-3 people, and they can, without hand touch, the coconut could be extracted, the juice could be extracted and delivered through a tap in a glass. So probably that is the need of the time. Thank you very much. Thank you for this opportunity.